All right, find a comfortable seat, cross-legged. Maybe the legs are in a butterfly, whatever feels good to you. You can even lie down if you would like. We're going to start stretch and breathe with some breathing. Find your center where you can really ground into your mat. And then take the gaze to the floor, and if you feel safe enough to close the eyes, let them softly close. Let's bring our left hand over our heart and our right hand over our navel. We're just going to take a few minutes to really feel the breath, meaning we want to feel the chest as it rises and the navel as it rises. Take as much air as you need, and then softly exhale out of the nose. We're going to stay here for just a few minutes, keeping the left hand over the heart, feeling the chest rise and fall, the right hand over the navel, really bring your awareness to how natural the breath is. When we start paying attention to the breath, we also start controlling it, which means it will naturally slow down as you think about it. Just a few more rounds of breath. Breathe in deep, all the way down to the belly, and feel the navel as it pushes out like a balloon. Big, deep breath in through the nose. And then the air comes all into the lungs and expands the rib cage. And then as you softly exhale, the chest falls and the belly deflates. Breathing in, let the belly inflate. And then the lungs. And then as you exhale, the chest will fall and the belly deflates. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in. Expanding through the belly and then up into the lungs. And then slowly exhale. Very good. You can let the hands come down and rest on the legs. I'm going to stay here for just a few more breaths with our arms relaxed. Grounding into the mat. Just letting the ground support us, holding our body weight. Very good. You can softly start to open the eyes. Slowly blink them open, and then let's bring the knees underneath us. Nice and slow. Drawing the knees underneath you and then even a little bit further back. Bring them open as wide as your mat, and then we're going to sink down into our first stretch, bringing the forehead to the mat. Maybe wiggle a little bit back and forth, Getting the hips comfortable. We're going to settle into this position. We're going to be here for a few minutes. Take whatever breath you need. The knees should be wide as the torso just lays in between the thighs, almost reaching for the mat. The forearms are connected to the mat. The fingers are spread wide but relaxed. Letting the forehead rest on the mat. The hips sinking back towards the heels. This not only stretches out our hips, stretches out through our sides, up into the backs of our arms. Really helps with some circulation. If it feels good to let your favorite cheek come to the mat, we're going to sink into this position and just let the hips relax. Might feel tight at first. Just pay attention to your breathing. Again, focusing on the belly rising through the inhale and then the lungs filling up. And then the deflation as you exhale. If you find your mind wandering, whether it's about appointments after our class or what you have to do next, just bring your thought back to the sensations of the breath as it moves through the abdomen, through the lungs. Focus on the inhales and the exhales. A very natural, uncontrolled function that our body just does for us. When we pay attention to it, it naturally slows down. Even paying attention to all of the noises around you keeps your mind in check, keeps you aware and in the present moment. Continuing to pay attention to sounds and the smells around us keeps us here. Focusing on the breath. Just letting the body sink into the mat. Check in with the body. Are you holding anything? Are you holding through your back? Are you holding through the hips? We want to just let everything relax. And let the ground hold us. Our forearms, the head, the shins, the tops of the feet. We're grounded here into the mat. Just get heavy. One more round of breath here. Breathing deep into the abdomen. The lungs fill. And then paying attention as our bodies exhale naturally. Very good. Slowly lift the head. Slide the palms back. And lift the hips off of the heels. Bring the knees underneath you for a tabletop. Then we're going to just slide the hands out, maybe hand length in front, and slowly sway the hips side to side. We're going to get into that dynamic stretch that I was talking about before class started. Side to side with the hips, and then we're just going to rock forward and back. Rock forward just enough that you feel a stretch on the palms, the wrists, the forearms. Rocking back and then forward, nice and easy. Good, let's kick our right leg out to the side. Toes are gonna point forward. And we're gonna take that same rocking motion, just nice and slow, going back and then forward. You'll feel a nice stretch on the inside of the thigh. Rocking back and then forward. We're gonna try, and as we move through our dynamic stretches, move with our breath. So find an inhale with the rock back or the rock forward, and then the exhale with the opposite. Breath to movement. I'm finding mine as I inhale and I rock back. Exhale, rocking forward. And follow your breath. Follow your movement with the breath. When you're ready for that inhale or exhale, move into that opposite position. A few more on this side, and then we'll switch. Let's do one more. Very good. Bring that right leg in. I'm going to turn to the side. We're going to do that same thing with the left leg kicked out, pointing the toe forward. And then find that rock forward and back. And when you get comfortable, then you're going to move to your breath. Think about the back being flat like a tabletop, keeping the core tight. Do just a few more of these. Let's go one more. Very good. Slide that left leg back in, knees underneath, take a tabletop, and push those hips out again. Just a little dynamic stretch on the outside of the hip. Good. Now we're going to take a couple of spinal waves, cat-cows. And again, I want you to move from your breath. So as I inhale, my chest will come up, my hips will rise, my belly will sink. Big deep breath. And then when I'm ready to exhale, I'm going to tuck the hips, pull the belly up and in, round the spine, and tuck the chin for my exhale. When you're ready to inhale, you're going to slowly lift the hips, drop the belly, open the heart, and lift the chin for that inhale. And then when you're ready to exhale, tuck the tailbone, pull the belly up and in, round the spine, and tuck the chin. Move with your breath into the cow with every inhale. And on the exhale, you're taking it to the cat. Let's do one more to your breath. Very good. Walk the hands out in front. Keep the hips high. We're going to take the forehead down to the mat. Keeping the hips high this time instead of falling back towards the heels. Reaching the arms forward and resting the forehead on the mat. Untuck the toes, keep the hips high, and reach the arms forward before you let them sink into the mat. You'll feel a stretch through the back of the arms, through the sides of the body, and then just relax. Maybe you bring your favorite cheek to the mat. If the eyes aren't closed, maybe you softly close them. We're just going to sink here for a few minutes. Continuing to be aware of the noises and the smells and the sensations that you're feeling. If your mind starts to wander, maybe you just think about what it is that you're feeling while we're in this position, sinking into our mat. Are you feeling the stretch along the sides, maybe along the core, maybe in the hips? As we practice those dynamic movements to breath, it helps us gain closeness, mind-body connection. If you ever feel like things are out of whack or you're out of your control, it's good to find yourself in a position where your breath and your body move together. Brings a sense of control without control, if that makes sense. Sinking the chest towards the mat. Maybe you feel the feet have caved in. You're no longer on the tops of the feet. The feet have rolled inward. Maybe the shoulders are tight. Continue to pay attention to your body and just breathe. It's a nice little challenge as we try to relax and distractions come into our bubble. To continue to bring your focus to your awareness, the sensations, and your breath. Life gets busy, life gets loud, and it gives us a sense of ease if we can just focus on the quiet things. Very good. Slowly start to lift yourself up off of the mat. And we're going to just slowly transition to bring our hips all the way down, and then our belly, and then our chest. Let your favorite cheek come to the mat. We're going to draw our right knee out to the side. If anyone is a side sleeper, you might feel like if you had a pillow in between your legs, we're going to lay with our hip open. I want you to find your comfortable spot. So for me, maybe that's bringing my left palm underneath my left temple. My right arm is up almost underneath me, supporting my weight as I let this right hip externally rotate and stretch. Find a position where you can just get as heavy as you can on your mat. Take any necessary adjustments. And then once you've found that spot, bring your focus back to your breath. Keeping your attention on the sensations that you're feeling as we sink into this stretch. Maybe you feel something in the low back. Maybe the hip is tight. Maybe you're holding through your upper back and you're not really sinking into your mat. Check in with your body and your position. See if there's anything you can let go of to become more supported by your mat. Letting go allows gravity to move the body further into this stretch. And once you're comfortable and you're heavy, you're just focusing on your breath. Are your inhales and exhales even? Are you needing deeper breaths? Very good. If you're wherever your left arm is, let's slide it out in front. We're going to just kind of push ourselves onto our left side just a little bit so our chest is open, facing to the right. And reach that right arm up overhead. And maybe just open up that right arm behind you just for a stretch. Nice gentle twist to the spine. Stretch to that right bicep and shoulder, opening up the chest. Very good. Slowly bring it in. Bring that left leg in underneath you. And we're just going to bring the palms underneath the shoulders and press into the palms to lift the chest off the mat. Maybe take a little sway side to side as if you're going to tap the right hip and then the left to the mat. And when you're ready, back down to the forearms. Let's bring that left leg out to the side. That right arm maybe comes down as a pillow. And the left arm just rests on the mat, bringing the forehead or the temple to that right wrist. Finding a comfortable spot. We're going to let that left hip open up, nice and easy. Find that spot where you can just melt into the mat. Maybe the eyes are closed. Finding your sensations of this stretch, if it's in the hip or the back, maybe on the side. Being aware of your surroundings, what you're smelling, what you're hearing, what you're feeling. And then just focus on that breath. Paying attention to the belly as it rises and fills with air. Are you as heavy as you can be on your mat? Or do you feel yourself holding somewhere? Are you tightening the shoulders? Are you tightening through the hip? We want to see how heavy we can be on our mats. If you find yourself holding something, if there's tension in the neck or the shoulder, just relax and let it go. Continue to be fully supported by the mat underneath you. Let's slowly straighten that bottom arm, using it as a pillow, just kind of transitioning a little bit more onto that right side. Let's bring that left arm to the side and then up overhead, nice and slow. Slowly draw the elbow down as you bend the arm and open up to that left side of the chest, finding a stretch in the left bicep and the left shoulder, reaching for the wall behind you. Slight twist in the upper back. Feels good to the spine. Good. Let's slowly roll onto our backs. Tucking the knees into the chest. You can wrap the forearms around the knees, or maybe you could grab onto the knees with the hands and just slowly rock side to side, massaging the low back. Let's practice that breath to movement. One side with the inhale and to the opposite side with the exhale. Very good. Let's slowly bring the feet to the mat. And then as slow as you can, you're going to roll one vertebrae at a time to a seat. Very good. Crossing the feet. Get comfortable here. Ground down into the mat. And then we're going to bring the palms to the knees. Maybe softly close the eyes. So bring the chin to the chest. And stretch out our neck. Letting the head hang as heavy as you can. Let the hands relax onto the thighs. Maybe you don't need to be at the knees. Maybe you just need to pull them back so that the legs can hold the weight of your arms. And then when you get there, see how heavy you can let the head be. While the head is hanging heavy, pull the chin in the direction of the left shoulder. And then raise the crown of the head towards the ceiling so that your chin is right over the top of that left shoulder. You feel a nice stretch along the right side of the neck. Maybe you bring the chin close to the collarbone and get deeper into that stretch. Good. Slowly draw the chin back to the chest. And then let the chin make its way over to the right shoulder. Maybe drawing the chin towards the collarbone on the right side to really stretch out the left side of the neck. And then chin to chest. Now we're going to let the left ear reach for the left shoulder. Take a second to check in with the shoulders. Are they reaching for the ears? If they are, let them settle. As that left ear reaches for the left shoulder. Breathing into the tightness that you feel in the neck. And exhaling that tightness out. Good. Slowly lift the head and let's let the right ear reach for the right shoulder. Again, check in with the shoulders. Are they reaching for the ears? We want the head to be heavy as if the ear is reaching down. We're not trying to reach up with the shoulder. Breathing in the tightness and exhaling it out. Very good. Slowly draw the chin back down to the chest. We're going to take some bottom half circles here with our neck. Meaning we're going to trace our collarbone with our chin from the left, nice and slow, all the way over to the right shoulder. Once you get to the right, you're going to slowly make your way back down and over to the left. Explore the tightness in this space. Maybe you try to look over the left shoulder if your eyes are open or even if they're closed. And then slowly draw the chin to the chest and back over to the right. Twisting a little bit further, finding a deeper stretch each time. Slow on the release. Back up to the left. Good. One more time to the right. Now from here, we're going to use our chin to draw a circle, lifting the chin up towards the ceiling, over to the left, and down towards the shoulder, back towards the chest again. Using the chin, draw a circle to the right, all the way up, as big as you can, to the left, and then to the chest. One more time, up to the right, the ceiling, the left, and to the chest. We're going to go the opposite direction. The chin is going to come up towards the left, up towards the ceiling, over to the right, nice and slow. Down towards the shoulder and then the chest. Again, to the left, to the ceiling, over to the right, down towards the shoulder and then the chest. One more time, to the left, towards the ceiling, to the right, the shoulder and to the chest. We're going to let the head hang heavy at the chest. Get into a relaxed posture. Maybe you let the back just round. And really draw the chin to chest. We're going to really stretch out the spine here. If your hips are tucked under, the spine is rounded and the chin is to the chest, you're going to feel a nice stretch all the way up the spine. Very good. Let's sit tall. Bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, and pull the palms and the forearms close together. You can lean back a little bit. Open up the chest. Squeeze the shoulders together. And slowly start to lift the arms away from the body. Very good. Slowly bring the arms back in front of you and let the palms face up as the hands rest on the knees. Take a second to let the fingers relax, let the hands relax. And let's bring that left hand back to the heart. The right hand covers the navel. We're going to go back to that breathing awareness, where we watch and feel as our belly rises with our inhale. And then filling the lungs with air before we deflate the lungs and sink the belly in. Paying attention to how your body breathes naturally. Feeling as it rises and falls. We're going to stay here for a few more rounds of breath. If the eyes aren't closed, maybe just gaze towards the floor. If you feel safe enough to close them, close them. And slowly release the hands. Bring them down to the mat next to you and slowly lie back one vertebrae at a time. You can keep the legs crossed or you can lengthen them out, whatever feels good to you. And bring both hands onto the belly. Keep the eyes closed for just a few minutes. As you get as heavy as you can on your mat. Checking in with the toes and the feet, if they're relaxed. The hands and the fingers are relaxed, just resting on the belly. The forehead and the jaws relaxed. The head and the shoulders are heavy on your mat. Bring your attention one last time to that breath. And the sensations that you feel through the hands as your belly rises and falls. Very good. Let's roll to our favorite side. Use your bottom arm as a pillow. And then slowly start to blink the eyes open and help yourself up to a seat. Thank you so much for joining me today for Stretch and Breathe. I hope you were able to connect with your breath and really let the mind and body move together. I hope that you feel a little more relaxed and a little more flexible than you did when you got here today. And I hope to see you guys next time.